Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of today's reading. So we're at Surah 76, ayah number 23. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Indeed, it is we who have revealed the Quran to you, O Prophet, in stages. So be patient with your Lord's decree, and do not yield to any evildoer or staunch disbeliever from among them. Always remember the name of your Lord, morning and evening. Yes, and evening. And prostrate before him during part of the night, and glorify him long at night. Surely those pagans love this fleeting world, totally neglecting a weighty day ahead of them. It is we who created them and perfected their physical form. But if we will, we can easily replace them with others. Surely this is a reminder. So let whoever wills take the right way to their Lord. But if you cannot will to do so, but you cannot will to do so unless Allah wills. Allah is truly all-knowing, all-wise. He admits whoever he wills into his mercy. As for the wrongdoers, he has prepared for them a painful punishment. And now we're up to Surah 77, which is called Surah Al-Mursalat. Al-Mursalat. Those winds sent forth. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. By those winds sent forth successively, and those blowing violently, and those scattering rain clouds widely, and by those angels fully distinguishing truth from falsehood, and those delivering revelation, ending excuses and giving warnings. Surely what you are promised will come to pass. So when the stars are put out, and the sky is torn apart, and the mountains are blown away, and the messenger's time to testify comes up, for which day has all this been set? For the day of final decision. And what will make you realize what the day of decision is? Woe on that day to the deniers. Did we not destroy earlier disbelievers? And we will make the later disbelievers follow them. This is how we deal with the wicked. Woe on that day to the deniers. Did we not create you from a humble fluid, placing in it a secure place until an appointed time? We perfectly ordained its development. How excellent are we in doing so? Woe on that day to the deniers. Have we not made the earth a lodging for the living and the dead, and placed upon it towering, firm mountains, and given you fresh water to drink? Woe on that day to the deniers. The disbelievers will be told, proceed into the fire which you used to deny. Proceed into the shade of smoke, which rises in 3 columns, providing neither coolness nor shelter from the flames. Indeed, it hurls sparks as big as huge castles, and as dark as black camels. Woe on that day to the deniers. On that day they will not be in a position to speak, nor will they be permitted to offer excuses. Woe on that day to the deniers. They will be told by Allah, this is the day of final decision. We have gathered you along with earlier disbelievers for punishment. So if you have a scheme to save yourselves, then use it against me. Woe on that day to the deniers. Indeed, the righteous will be amid cool shade and springs, and any fruit they desire. They will be told, eat and drink happily for what you used to do. Surely this is how we reward the good doers. But woe on that day to the deniers. Eat and enjoy yourselves for a little while, for you are truly wicked. Woe on that day to the deniers. When it is said to them, bow down before Allah, they do not bow. Woe on that day to the deniers. So what message after this Quran would they believe in? If they don't believe in this message, what message would they believe in? Yes, good point. All right, so now we're going to start Surah 78, which is called Surah An-Naba, which means the momentous news. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. What are they asking one another about? About the momentous news over which they disagree. But no, they will come to know. Again, no, they will come to know. Have we not smoothed out the earth like a bed, and made the mountains as its pegs, and created you in pairs, and made your sleep for rest, and made the night as a cover, and made the day for livelihood, and built about you 7 mighty heavens, and placed in them a shining lamp, and sent down from rain clouds pouring water, producing by it grain, and various plants, and dense orchards? Indeed, the day of final decision is an appointed time. It is the day the trumpet will be blown, and you will all come forth in crowds. The sky will be split open, becoming many gates, and the mountains will be blown away, becoming like a mirage. Indeed, hell is lying in ambush as a home for the transgressors, where they will remain for endless ages. There they will not taste any coolness or drink, except boiling water and oozing pus, a fitting reward. For they never expected any reckoning and totally rejected our signs, and we have everything recorded precisely. So the deniers will be told, taste the punishment, for all you will get from us is more torment. Indeed, the righteous will have salvation, gardens, vineyards, and full bosomed maidens of equal age, and full cups of pure wine, never to hear any idle talk or lying therein, a fitting reward as a generous gift from your Lord, the Lord of the heavens and the earth and everything in between, the most compassionate. No one will dare speak to him on the day the Holy Spirit and the angels will stand in ranks. None will talk except those granted permission by the most compassionate and whose words are true. That day is the ultimate truth, so let whoever wills take the path leading back to their Lord. Indeed, we have warned you of an imminent punishment, the day every person will see the consequences of what their hands have done, and the disbelievers will cry, I wish I were dust. That's it. Okay, Surah 79. We're getting there, guys. Surah al-Nazirat. No, Naziat. Surah al-Naziat. Okay, please let me know if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Which means those angels stripping out souls. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. By those angels stripping out evil souls harshly, and those pulling out good souls gently, and those gliding through heavens swiftly, and those taking the lead vigorously, and those conducting affairs obediently. Consider the day when the quaking blast will come to pass, followed by a second blast. The deniers' hearts on that day will be trembling in horror, with their eyes downcast. But now they ask mockingly, will we really be restored to our former state, and after we have been reduced to decaying bones? They add, on such a return will be a total loss for us, but indeed it will take only one mighty blast, and at once they will be above ground. Has the story of Moses reached you, O Prophet? His Lord called him in the sacred valley of Tuwa, commanding, go to Pharaoh, for he has truly transgressed all bounds, and say, would you be willing to purify yourself and let me guide you to your Lord, so that you will be in awe of him? Then Moses showed him the great sign, but he denied and disobeyed Allah, then turned his back, striving against the truth. Then he summoned his people and called out, saying, I am your Lord, the Most High. So Allah overtook him, making him an example in this life and the next. Surely in this is a lesson for whoever stands in awe of Allah. Which is harder to create, you or the sky? He built it, raising it high and forming it flawlessly. He dimmed its night and brought forth its daylight. As for the earth, he spread it out as well, bringing forth its water and pastures, and setting the mountains firmly upon it, all as a means of sustenance for you and your animals. But when the supreme disaster comes to pass, the day every person will remember all their striving, and the hellfire will be displayed for all to see. Then as for those who transgressed and preferred the fleeting life of this world, the hellfire will certainly be their home. As for those who were in awe of standing before their Lord and restrained themselves from evil desires, paradise will certainly be their home. They ask you, O Prophet, regarding the hour, when will it be? But it is not for you to tell its time. That knowledge rests with your Lord alone. Your duty is only to warn whoever is in awe of it. On the day they see it, it will be as if they stayed in the world no more than one evening or its morning. Okay, now we're up to Surah 80. Okay. Oof. I need to read faster. Surat Abasa. He frowned. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. He frowned and turned his attention away, simply because the blind man came to him interrupting. You never know, O Prophet. Perhaps he may be purified, or he may be mindful, benefiting from the reminder. As for the one who was indifferent, you gave him your undivided attention, even though you are not to blame if he would not be purified. But as for the one who came to you, eager to learn, being in awe of a law, you are inattentive to him. But no, this revelation is truly a reminder. So let whoever wills be mindful of it. It is written on pages held in honor, highly esteemed and purified, by the hands of angel scribes, honorable and virtuous. Condemned are disbelieving humans. How ungrateful they are to Allah. From what sustenance did he create them? He created them from a sperm drop and ordained their development. Then he makes the way easy for them, then causes them to die and be buried. Then, when he wills, he will resurrect them. But no, they have failed to comply with what he ordered. Let people then consider their food, how we pour down rain in abundance, and meticulously split the earth open for sprouts, causing grain to grow in it, and as well as grapes and greens, and olives and palm trees, and dense orchards, and fruit and fodder, all as a means of sustenance for you and your animals. Then, when the deafening blast comes to pass, on the day every person will flee from their own siblings, and even their mother and father, and even their spouse and children. For then everyone will have enough concern of their own. On that day, some faces will be bright, laughing and rejoicing, while other faces will be dusty, cast in gloom. Those are the disbelievers, the wicked sinners. Surah 81. It's called Surah Takwir. Surah Takwir. Putting out the sun. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and most merciful. When the sun is put out, and when the stars fall down, and when the mountains are blown away, and when pregnant camels are left untended, and when wild beasts are gathered together, and when the seas are set on fire, and when the souls and their bodies are paired once more, and when baby girls buried alive are asked for what crime they were put to death. That's referring to an old custom that was had been adopted throughout Arabia before Islam came down, and it was still practiced when Islam came down, and Islam abolished that practice. People would bury their baby girls alive in the sand in the desert because having a girl was seen as something unfortunate, to say the least, while everyone wanted to have sons, right? Because sons could bring in the money and girls were a burden. So they used to bury their girls alive, babies. Yeah. So those baby girls are going to ask on the day of judgment, why did you unalive me? What crime did I commit for you to do that? And those people that did that to them, oh, they're going to get what they deserved. Not to worry. And when the records of deeds are laid open, and when the sky is stripped away, and when the hellfire is fiercely flared up, and when paradise is brought near, on that day each soul will know what deeds it had brought along. I do swear by the receding stars, which travel and hide, and the night as it falls, and the day as it breaks. Indeed, this Quran is the word of Allah, delivered by Gabriel, a noble messenger angel, full of power, held in honor by the Lord of the throne, obeyed there in heaven and trustworthy. And your fellow man is not insane, as in Allah is talking to the people, saying, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family, he is one of you and he is not insane. He speaks the truth. He's trustworthy, and your fellow man is not insane. Okay, sorry. And he did see that angel on the clear horizon, and he does not withhold what is revealed to him of the unseen. And this Quran is not the word of an outcast devil. So what other path would you take? Surely this Quran is only a reminder to the whole world, to whoever of you wills to take the straight way, and you cannot will to do so except by the will of Allah, the Lord of all worlds.